No, you guys are absolutely gooning to this haircut right now. This is a good haircut, type 1. If it's a bad haircut, which there's no way it's a bad haircut, type 2. But yeah, my boy Sonny did me right, got me with the cut. Now I'm back. Trade recap. Um, Again, just like yesterday, got hit out on my trailing stop loss, but we are in profit, so I guess that's all that matters. But yeah, we're still trying to. We basically made back the losses from Monday over the past 2 days of getting stumped out in our trailing stop losses. And so hopefully Thursday and Friday. Also, this week's PA hasn't been the best for me, in my opinion. So I guess hopefully tomorrow on Thursday and Friday we're able to find some setups. And today was a pretty interesting day because usually I lose on days like this, and it's normally because I'm super stubborn with my bias sometimes, and I know that's a problem that a lot of people face. It's just being super stuck up with their bias, and that's a problem that I've been facing quite a few times. And so I think I'm happy with the way I was able to deal with it today. Well, let me just mark this out for tonight. So today coming into the day, I was bearish because of the fact that yesterday we had a dump off when we inversed this 4 hour, and then overnight we didn't really do anything overnight. Didn't tap into a higher time frame PD array. Daily, it's just not much structure. 4 hours usually what I look at the most, and on the 4 hour, see at the 6 a.m. candle, 2 a.m. candle, and then last night's 10 p.m. candle on the 4 hour. There was nothing much to go off of other than the fact that we inversed this yesterday, and this PD array, this 4 hour value gap wasn't tapped into. So I was looking for this 4 hour, like this 4 hour high to be a draw on liquidity, and then I wasn't really trying to take a trade there, but I wanted to see more of a reaction within this PD array, and then for us to deliver down lower, because my weekly bias was bearish. I want to see us tap into this weekly fair value gap down here and take out some more sell side liquidity, internal sell side liquidity, before we start pumping up higher to all time high. So I was bearish today. However, that's not what happened, right? Um, so the market immediately opens and we're just chopping. It's a no news Wednesday as well. We basically had a second no news Monday, which is a scam. Like, I did not sign up for two no news Mondays, bro. I signed up for one no news Monday. We sat through it. I lost $500 and I thought it was over, but no, we have another no news Monday basically on this Wednesday. So we come in, we put in a bullish SMT as the market opens, and I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna wait it out. We're probably gonna head higher a little bit into this 4 hour PD array, and then maybe we'll get some sell side. Um, maybe we'll get some sell side taken out. So I'm just waiting. And first AM macro, we have nothing. Second AM macro, we have nothing. There's literally nothing to go off of. I know a lot of people took trades off of this inverse or this tap. I know, I don't. If you guys know who Bonka is and his rise zone levels, I have no idea what they are, but seems like it's working and it's its own concept, so that's pretty cool. I know people took trades off that. I know a lot of people might have taken the short here, just not my thing. I didn't take it. Just didn't feel comfortable entering off that trade, so I didn't take it. And I think that's like one of the main moves that people made money with, I guess, but didn't take that trade. There was really nothing to go off of. I feel like there was nothing showing that enough for me to enter. And yeah, so like most of the AM session, I really didn't have anything to enter off of. I'm pretty sure, yeah, this trade was in the PM, not the PM, the macro session. So as soon as I just let everything play out here, like that's the main thing too. Since today was the no news Wednesday, there was no news at all. I was also super 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 complacent on taking trades because no news is just complete dog shit, and I don't want to get caught up in some chop and just fair value gaps and inverse fair value gaps just to get ran through like a college girl bop. Like, so I'm just gonna wait until I get more confirmation. And the good thing is I want to trade with the trend as well. And today we were clearly bullish. And so in that addition to being a no news Wednesday, I want to trade with the trend. Just kind of lower the probability of me getting stomped out because it's already a low probability day. And so the actual trade I took was this continuation model, this was actually very similar to the trades I took that were nearly A plus. It's just on a low probability day. So it wasn't as A plus, but let me just break it down real quick. So like I said, I kind of flipped my bias to bullish because we were completely disrespecting this 4 hour and we just had bullish order flow. And there was no reason on the 15 minute we were super bullish. On the 5 minute we were super bullish. There's no reason for us to just completely come down after getting little to no reaction off this 4 hour PD array, retesting it, and then there being clearly higher draws on liquidity. So that was going to be my DOL after my bearish bias was just invalidated. So what happens here is on the 5 minute, I'm basically waiting for this 5 minute fair value gap to get tapped into. Following that 5 minute order flow, gets tapped into, is being respected, and then I'm looking for my entry, which is a unicorn model paired with some sort of inverse fair value gap or some sort of a retest into a fair value gap. And off of for continuation models, I'm looking for inverse fair value gap. So we have two of these small 1 minute fair value gaps, both get invalidated in like 3 candles. This is a great volume candle, another good volume candle. This is actually three fair value gaps that get completely invalidated. So I really could have entered a little bit earlier, but like I said, I wanted more confirmation because it's a low probability day. We enter off of this last fair value gap getting inverse, and then this candle closure just respecting kind of the inverse fair value gap we had. We also had a unicorn model here, a low, high, lower, low, higher, high. I entered before the unicorn model actually played itself out, but that's because we already had enough confirmation. If I really wanted to play it safe, I could have entered off this 1 minute fair value gap being retested. That would have been the cleaner entry, I guess. But I feel like after inversing 3 fair value gaps and then us respecting that 5 minute gap and then us clearly in a bullish trend, I figured we might just enter after this candle, after how this candle closed. And so yeah, I enter off of that, and then actually I size into my position here. Maybe that's why I got tapped out more like at break even. I have the live recording, so I'll add it to the end of this video. But yeah, after this trade kind of starts playing out, I'm like, okay, this is a really good sign. There's no way we don't take out these highs here because we're pushing up with good volume and everything. And then I just get completely stuck up in chop for 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55. So nearly an hour, I just sit on my ass like a good boy and I wait for NQ to do its thing, and it just takes me out of my position here, which was my break-even point after hitting this kind of, I think this was hitting this key level here. After it hits, it respects it, immediately dumps down. Tap, like kind of inverses was 5 minute, not really though, just kind of, or almost inverses 5 minute. That's why I kept my stops down at this low after we took out this high. As you can see, I tell myself I was going to trail my stop, so I did. And I'm pretty sure I sized in. Where I sized in was, where did I size in? I remember it was off of a 30-minute inverse of a gap. I think it was here where I sized in. Yeah, it was here. I didn't know we'd obviously chop this much. I thought this was our one retracement and then we just shoot up higher. So I think my second long position was somewhere here. And at this point, I had already taken partial. My stops were already at break even, or I had taken 2 partials or something like that. I don't know. This was my second entry here. Just sized it for 2 more contracts. So I was in this entire thing for 5 micros. I have the entire live recording at the end of this video, so it makes more sense, and rather than me just trying to explain and remember what I was doing in this trade, because I don't completely remember. Sorry, it's been like 4 hours since I entered this trade, or 3 hours. So yeah, that was a trade I took today. Hopefully it made some sense. We're still working our way towards our second payout, which we have $545 left until we can withdraw our second payout. I wanted to see more consistency, so I didn't really, or I bought, like I said, I tried scaling. I full ported like 4 evals after my first payout. It didn't work out, so I just wanted to, I really full porting like the 4 evals. I full ported them, so it wasn't really like a knock on my strategy or whatever, because I just want to pass them. But I don't know, I just want to get one more payout, see a little bit more consistency in my trading, and then I'll try scaling again and try not full porting, but actually trying to take trades and just size and heavy with them. I don't know why I just completely full ported off of like a C- setup last time for the evals. So yeah, hopefully we can get the second payout, and then we'll start scaling even more aggressively. And yeah, if you guys like the same setup, hopefully you guys had some bigger balls than I did and just kept your stops at break even. I was just a pussy and I put my stops at the low of this 5-minute fair value gap, and I got stomped out, and then price sets my TP like a couple hours later. So yeah, that was the trade I took today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I will see you guys in the next trade recap, maybe tomorrow, maybe in 2 days, who knows. Be safe and God bless.